Say, well, it's all been said, but it hasn't been said by all of us. So in the interest of time, to make sure that everybody gets a chance to be heard, if you're just being redundant, then feel free to truncate your remarks. But you have your 3 minutes. So if you want to use your 3 minutes and use it completely, that's fine. I just want to encourage you to respect the time for everybody so we can get through and hear from everyone.
I'm Karen Smith with the Executive Director of the ARC of Greater Prince William. And we, again, still have 11,000 people waiting for a Medicaid waiver. And some of those families are very desperate. We support several thousands of them through the ARC services, either residential, day services, or even in our education programs. And these folks are needing your help and support. And we ask that you reject the governor's proposal to cut some of those waiver services. We need more, not less.
My name is Brent Freeze, and I first and foremost want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. Today I stand before you because my daughter Peyton Rose Freeze cannot. On the morning of February 10th, 2016, Peyton took her own life. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
She was 17 and had less than 4 months from graduating from high school. She revealed to me the night before that she was being severely bullied at school, and that she felt alone trying to cope with what her peers were saying about her and to her. She felt like she had nowhere to turn. I told her that night that I'd walk with her through this, and that I was going to go with her to school in the morning and try to see what I could do to be there for her. Unfortunately, I never got that chance. After our tragic loss, my family started Peyton's Project. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is focusing on anti-bullying and cyberbullying, as well as a few other causes. Under the umbrella of Peyton's Project is Freeze Bowling for Peyton, which has a Facebook following of over 5,200 people spread across 9 different countries. Bullying is a significant social problem that unfortunately affects too many of our children on a daily basis, at school and at home. I invite you to just visit our page to see for yourself. Not only are there unfortunate accounts of bullying and cyberbullying, but there are uplifting stories and a social network of people who want to help others. The legislation that I'm asking you to consider are some modifications and additions to existing anti-bullying and anti-cyberbullying laws that the Commonwealth currently has on the books.
I'm here to plead with you to help Prince William County and Governor McCoart to push back the permit for Dominion Power solid waste permit. I live down there on Boston Point Road. They've poisoned us. They've denied it. They've dumped 27 million gallons of poison in our backyard. It took them 7 months to acknowledge that we knew this, and they acknowledged it. Senator Surovell has pushed to have monitoring wells established around their perimeter to show their contamination, and it is now shown their contamination is pushed into our properties. They are now offering to supply fresh water to the community. And back in April when we spoke, we encouraged them to do this, and they announced that they would never do that. That would be a sign of guilt, and they weren't guilty. Well, now they're saying they're wanting to help us because these well tests are showing that the poison has got outside their property. The liner that this pond D is made out of a clay-based liner, which is not a very good liner. They're saying that this coal ash facility is safe. It's not safe. It's leaching out into the water. It's leaching into the Potomac River. We just asked Prince William County to push Dominion to have the beaver pond tested, the core sample in the beaver pond the weekend before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend, the beaver pond got drained. So I brought it to their attention. They said the wind did it. So I find it very hard to believe that Dominion is a good neighbor. They're non-truthful. They've offered to pay water for the residents there only after they pay for it themselves, that they would reimburse them. If the people there could afford to stop drinking poison, they would have done it already. I've done it. Just got through doing it. It cost me $40,000 to put water in my house. I had no choice because the pipes were bursting. I had to move my family out of the house. My children live somewhere else now. And I'm here to hope that you guys will push Prince William County and Governor McCourt to do something about this and not let Dominion Power plant all that poison out there just to leach out into the Potomac River. There's other ways. North Carolina, South Carolina, all require their power companies to put it in a modern, safe landfill. Virginia does not. They're looking the other way. The EPA is looking the other way. Nobody's watching the ball. Senator Surovell is on our side helping me have the nerve to stand up here and try to speak for the people down there that the children are drinking this poison, still drinking this poison. And Dominion is denying it. Prince William County is not, they're acknowledging that our wells are poisoned, but not acknowledging why. Well, when you have these elements of carcinogenic lead, hexavalent chromium, boron, strontium, all these elements that are poison, they know it's poison, they've met with us, but they still fail to go up against Dominion Power, and I believe it's because Dominion Power is too strong, and I'm hoping you guys can push legislation to help this and keep us all safe. Thank you.
My name is Bruce Smith. I live in Woodbridge. Besides representing the ARP, which I am today, I'm also a retired teacher for Prince William County Schools. I serve on the board of Prince William County Education Association and the VEA. ARP Virginia is fighting to put a secure retirement within reach for people who work hard and plan for their future. The expectation of a comfortable retirement is no longer a reality for far too many Virginians. Instead, thousands face the risk of running out of savings after they retire. Delegate Victoria and Senator Ruff will introduce companion bills to increase access to payroll deduction individual retirement accounts. 73% of surveyed Virginia voters agree elected officials should set up a state-run retirement savings plan so all workers can have an opportunity to save through payroll deductions.
Thank you. I'm Alan Muchnick with the Virginia Bicycling Federation in active Prince William. The latter organization was founded 1 year ago to advance bicycling, walking, and public transportation in the Prince William County area. For the past 8 years, the Virginia Bicycling Federation has sought to improve justice for bicyclists injured by negligent motorists. As a result, the General Assembly has modified Virginia's traffic laws to finally prohibit motorists from following or passing bicyclists too closely and from carelessly opening the driver's door of a parked vehicle into the path of approaching traffic. While we appreciate these long-needed changes, more must be done to hold careless and distracted motorists accountable for their negligence. Last year, Senator Surovell and Delegate Sullivan each introduced bills to charge a careless or distracted motorist with a Class 1 misdemeanor and to suspend their driver's license for 1 to 3 years if their negligence is the proximate cause of serious physical injury to a vulnerable road user.
My name is Sandra Dawson, and I serve 2 roles in Prince William County. I'm chair of both the Housing Board for Prince William County, and also I'm chair of the Prince William Area Commission on Aging, which serves not only Prince William County, but also the independent cities of Manassas and Manassas Park. And so I'll be speaking for both of those groups today. The Prince William Housing Board is an administrative board that's responsible for overseeing the expenditure of funds for home and community-based services and development, and directing the management of programs administered by the Office of Housing and Community Development. We are responsible for developing policies for meeting community needs for affordable housing. We serve as the Public Housing Agency Board in accordance with the requirements of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And our top 4 legislative priorities for 2017 are the following. 1 is to increase funding for the Virginia Housing Trust Fund. As you know, this fund is used for loans to reduce the cost of home ownership and also for rental housing, as well as providing grants to reduce homelessness, which is becoming an increasing problem around the state. And in connection with this, we'd also like to see the establishment of a dedicated funding for this Virginia Housing Trust Fund. So it's not an issue that comes up every year.
My name is Riley O'Casey. I'm president of the Prince William Education Association and a very proud middle school teacher. The average salary for Virginia educators is more than $7,000 below the national average, ranking us 30th in the nation. 30th is not competitive. 30th makes the best teachers think twice about coming to Virginia. Too many teachers must work second and third jobs to survive. This is unacceptable. When funding decreases at the state level, as it has over the...
I stand on behalf of the most vulnerable and marginalized among us. Detailed in the brief I provided, I am urging 4 legislative actions that would support those living with mental illness and those suffering domestic violence. This brief is submitted in remembrance of the lives of 3 women in Northern Virginia. Natasha McKenna, who was diagnosed with schizophrenia at the age of 12 and who tragically died from, quote, excited delirium after being stun-gunned while in custody at a Fairfax County jail in 2015. And Crystal Hamilton, who lived less than 5 minutes from here in one of the wealthiest neighborhood enclaves in Woodbridge, trapped in silence in an abusive marriage, and tragically died in her home after her husband shot both her and Officer Ashley Giddard, a rookie who responded to her domestic violence call in 2016. The first 2 actions are related to the redundancy of HB 1480 and calling for the creation of a mental health awareness training that would be required of all first responders.
However, I have several welcome home. Well, I'm moving in perhaps because of what's going on with 66. But Valerie Brown, Brian and Lisa Smith, and John Voskow, all of whom are Prince William residents, are here to support what I have to say. The third issue, which is preserving the clean fuel vehicle exemption on 66 inside the Beltway. Without action by the General Assembly in the second quarter of 2017, when the tolling gantries go live, I will no longer be able to drive my gas and electric hybrid, which Virginia promised me about 15 years ago, if I bought, I could continue to do, from the Beltway into the Roosevelt.
The one thing I do want to talk about today and kind of highlight is the opioid crisis in the United States, including heroin. Last year there were almost 13,000 overdoses from heroin, and it's growing. It's growing very fast, and it's affecting Prince William County. Last year, in the previous 12 months rather, 487 cases of heroin overdoses in Prince William County alone. It's growing. We don't actually even know what the true extent of the problem is and how fast it's growing, but we do know that it is a potential epidemic that we've got to address. I know that Delegate Hugo's got some legislation that he's submitted to try to address the situation. Obviously, on the local level, we could use your help. $599 funding for police. If you could, find a way to fully restore that, that would help us out greatly.
Hi everyone, my name is Barbara Larimore. I'm Delegate Anderson. He knows me. He knows what I'm here to talk about, and that is more recess and PE in elementary school, a cause that is really near and dear to my heart. I brought my 3 small kids with me today so you can see how much physical education and being active is necessary. I started this when my first son was in kindergarten, and I noticed that he would develop these nervous habits of chewing on his shirts and chewing on these shirts up here to where they would get holes in them. And I thought, what is this? Why has this all of a sudden developed when he started kindergarten? And I just piecing things together and putting the pieces together, it just, when I look at the schedule of what we have now, 15 minutes for a 5-year-old, which is what my kindergartner over there has, it's just not enough for a 6.5-hour day. So.